Zyzz. A very controversial guy. For some an idol, for others just a narcissistic bragger. From being bullied in school and playing hours of video games as a teenager, he later should become the biggest influencer the fitness scene might have ever seen.
He was way ahead of the game. He was an influencer before influencers.
But who was this guy called Zyzz? Or we should rather ask, who was Aziz? What we will discover in the next few minutes might not please everyone. So now is the last chance to click off before we go down that deep and daunting rabbit hole. In early 1986 in Russia, the married Armenian couple Maya and Sergei Severshin gave birth to their first kid, which should bear the name of his grandfather, Sad. 3 years later, on the 27th of March in 1989, another son was born. He should listen to the name of Aziz, and soon become the person who we all know as the famous Zyzz. Growing up, Aziz's brother had severe problems with asthma. As this didn't get better but rather worse, they had to move to a different climate than Russia, Australia. Aziz and his brother were, as their parents described it, rather wild and extrovert kids, which would change drastically in their high school years. As they were small and had basically the figure of a girl, they got pushed around, made fun of, and Aziz even got stolen his lunch money occasionally. This led to them getting very introvert and even being kind of put under arrest at home, except for school of course. This was the method their parents chose to shield them from more harm of the outside world. Partly attributed to that is the big love to video games Aziz developed during that time. But all of this should change once again completely in college. Sad started training, with the gains he made over time and asking Aziz day in and out to come to the gym. He could convince him one day.
His inspiration actually was drawn through me. I started bodybuilding when I was 17, 18 because I was getting bullied in high school.
Aziz sold his World of Warcraft account for $500, which then should be invested into the first year of gym membership. The beginning of a whole new future for both of them. After being locked up at home for years, in college Aziz started to finally go out and on parties. He eventually even got tattoos and just trying out everything. Yes, drugs included. Basically doing all the things he missed out on during his early teenage years. But not only that changed. With the training, the appearance and body of Aziz and Daaz, also his confidence started to skyrocket. Part of this was also because of the recognition and compliments he would get for his physique, not only from guys, but especially from girls. Tables started to turn big time, and even the guys bullying Aziz in high school started to ask him for advice on diet and training. With the love of video games from the earlier years, also the love and knowledge to computers arose in Aziz, which led him to start documenting his transformation on social media. To be more exact, Facebook and YouTube. But that wasn't the only online activity he engaged in. Also forums like the Fitboard on 4channel and the miscellaneous board of the bodybuilding forum should become a recent place for him to post. This was the beginning of something big. Something big which should listen to the name of Zyzz, a name which his brother made up in the earlier years out of laziness. Besides documenting his progress, Zyzz loved to troll people on the internet. This is how you Marin bruh or you jelly bruh, which should mean users admiring or being jealous of him, got into life. With help of his body, creating the rise of aesthetics, the online trolling and just being different than what the internet has ever seen before, it was only a matter of time until the character Zyzz went viral across the whole world, building a massive tribe of followers. Just have a look at what this guy called Zyzz was.
Stalin on your ass.
Hello?
Yeah.
How you going, bro? You admiring the aesthetic son?
What?
You mad I'm styling on you, bro, with my aesthetic?
To describe best what Zyzz wanted to leave, I would rather show you one of his quotes. Everybody one day will die and be forgotten. Act and behave in a way that will make life interesting and fun. An unpredictable life. Working Monday. He not only inspired millions to enjoy life, but also made them delve into the fitness lifestyle and look and feel the best they ever could.
Like, he was the voice for all the skinny dudes out there who wanted to get bigger and get attention or get girls or get noticed or get respect.
But he actually also let actions speak for him. He tried to get his brother and also a lot of friends into the spotlight, so they could live their life to the fullest as well. His brother even got the nickname Chess Bra through a forum thread he created called "You Admiring My Chess Bra?" And besides his brother, he also shared the spotlight with a ton of friends, and that's how the Aesthetics crew was born. They started as computer geeks, small or fat kids, and became the best version of themselves, which the internet seemed to love. They started to go to festivals and photo shoots all over Australia and rose even higher on the internet. But it wasn't only shine and glamour all the time. As every story, also this one has a dark side. The quick and insane body transformation did not happen all natural. The transformation can be traced back to the use of illegal substances. The mass of young men looking up to him might have come to the thought they would have to take substances in order to look good or be successful as well. If that's good or bad, you can decide on your own. Also, all of the partying has led a lot of people to live a horrendous lifestyle instead of the fitness lifestyle Zyzz actually wanted to promote. Yes, Zyzz did party a lot, but as we can take from this post, it was not as you might think. We always lol about people who think we are constantly partying and on drugs in real life. Large-scale festivals occur only every 2 to 3 months or so, and it's on these occasions that we do have our fun or take drugs. For the rest of the time, I'm training and eating like a machine, having early nights and barbecues on weekends at mate's house to get all our proteins in, rather than going out, binge drinking like every other faggot and getting absolutely wasted for the hell of it. Another dark side of the Zyzz character was the aspect of looking good. He never talked about treating girls, good or bad necessarily, but as he only partied, f***ed girls and trained, plus encouraged to focus on oneself rather than giving girls any attention, some young men start to think Zyzz disrespects women, and so should they. Lastly, as we all know, with fame comes also a lot of hate.
Zyzz, whatever the fuck his name is. I've got a message for you, sweet cheeks. You're a wanker! Your personality is very shit. It's just disgusting.
We always see the picture of success as something that will make us feel and be great all the time. But that might not be the case, as we are about to see.
Before his fame and even after his fame, he was very, very insecure, and he was in a lot of pain and a lot of hurt because deep down, he's still that skinny kid. He didn't deal with it that well.
Everybody asks him, what the f*** is this about? What the f*** is up with those videos? You f***ed up yourself. It's a f***ing act. There is this.
He might seem good on the outside, but we can't really tell how he really felt on the inside. Probably not as good as his brother just mentioned. Some of you might are in the same situation. So this is why I want to reference back to a part of the quote of Zyzz. Don't ever pay people out or put people down. That's what we all should learn from Zyzz for sure. But this wouldn't be a good story without a good end, right? Right? To quote his brother, everything was going perfect. Zyzz had the world at his fingertips. He was making a killing, and it was only a matter of time before he would have ruled the fitness industry. Aziz has saved $20,000 over the course of 2 months, as his brother stated, and wanted to party it out in Thailand with a friend. But what not too many people know, said his brother had bad nightmares in the weeks before Aziz planned to go to Thailand. To quote him once again, Once or twice a week I would have vivid nightmares and bad dreams of his death, which would result in me waking up sweating and panicking. He then would go and check if Aziz is still alive. What he was, at least at this point in time. Aziz's whole family thought he would go to Thailand with a gym mate, which wasn't the truth. He told his brother not before he was in Thailand, he went alone. On the 8th of August, there was a knock at the door of Zyzz's place. 2 police officers standing in front, telling him he should better sit down. Zyzz couldn't believe what they were about to tell him and started to scream, cry and try to attack the officers. But what has led to this reaction? It were the following words of the officers. It is with our deepest sympathies and regret that we wish to tell you that Aziz Sergeyevich Zavershian has passed away on August 5th in Thailand at Chameleon Hospital, Bangkok from cardiomyopathy, heart failure. August the 5th. This was Daaz, or to be more exact, Aziz, and the whole aesthetic era died. At least that's what you would think. But the spirit of Zyzz and his aesthetic movement is still alive to this day on the internet. You have to decide on your own whether he built a legacy worth keeping alive or if he only was another of those fitness douchebags. For me personally, he did build a legacy. I mean, it's 10 years later and yet we are still talking about and getting inspired by him. Yes, he might did drugs, took steroids, led a few guys to disrespect girls, and he might also wasn't as confident as he tried to seem all the time. But don't forget, he was only a human as you are yourself. We all make mistakes, but at least he tried and also did challenge the lives of a lot of people to the better.